Okay. All right. Before we start, Kimberly, how are you? You are, yeah, in co-host
Yes.
in case you need, you are co-host right now.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you. We got distracted because,
Oops, you were talking and you got cut off, Kimberly.
oh, okay. I'm sorry that I'm a little bit late. I was helping Bobby with,
Oh, you got cut off again. Okay, that's good. Okay. All right. Okay. Today I'm going to, we have not done this for about 3 weeks. We are going to start again. And I have a question for you. Um, what if we have this call like 30 minutes earlier on Saturdays? Eh, Anybody has a comment?
That would be great.
Yeah, because I
I'm
think it's,
good. I'm good.
yeah, it would be only 30 minutes earlier. Okay, yeah, I know because I know some people, especially some people say in the East Coast, said, "Okay, we want to enjoy the summer." By that time, we are going to the beach or whatever. Okay, and yeah, well, let's do that. That would be what is called the summertime hours. Okay, cool. All right, perfect. And something that I'm gonna be doing too, I'm gonna be doing some, not today, but in the coming weeks, is some calls on onboarding too. Not only on the pay plan and technology, but on onboarding. Today, I'm gonna go back into the pay plan because it's interesting because one of the most common questions that I always have are based on the pay plan. Of course, they are the regular um, it's a regular question that well about prospecting, etc. But also a lot about the pay plan, and mostly because people want to hear always how we get paid, how we can make money, etc. And that's what we are going to be talking today. All right, let me share my screen. All right. All right, I love to have this disclaimer on top. And the reason I have the disclaimer, first of all, because I want to make sure that people understand that when we talk about money, is because it's the possibilities of what we have. Now, it's not that we are telling you, okay, as soon as you sign up, and that's it. You sign up two people on or two, one on the left, one on the right, and then you go away on vacation, and when you come back, you are going to be multimillionaire. Obviously, it depends of your own activity. And the important thing, the cool thing is that you are in a team where we have a lot of people that are great leaders. And of course, the experience of Christine, my experience, and the experience of many other people that have been successful, like also Kimberly, and many other ones. And by following the system, by always listening to the skills and the more you see presentation, the more you do presentations, you become better, and then your percent of success goes way up, because it gets to the point that this becomes just a numbers game and numbers game, consistency and numbers game. And then when you do that, you are going to be successful. Now, when we started in this business, and that's a picture of mine, of course, sometimes when we are talking about numbers, our brain is mocking. We say, gosh, are so many numbers, etc. And the reason is because sometimes when we look at anything, if we see it from a kind of a little too close, we see so many numbers then we get confused and we think, and not only in numbers and building the pay plan, but also in anything, instead doing one thing at a time. But the cool thing is that really the pay plan of three is simple. It's simple. But even if we didn't know the plan and we knew just the basics, we could be successful. Since I've been in network marketing, I met people that have been successful making good money, and some of them didn't understand in detail the pay plan. They just knew the basics, even in very complex pay plans, because they knew that the basic of building is just numbers. It's not numbers, and that's what we have to talk about. Now we have one page, and we are going to have it on this. You probably have seen this page. We are going to have it on. I'm going to send it to make sure we have it in the WhatsApp groups, and you probably many of you have it, and I'm going to put it also on the right side. You can download it. This is a general idea of what the pay plan is, and it's a great help when you have it with you, because the more you see it, the more you get connected with. But again, the pay plan is simple, especially when we look at the pay plan piece by piece. Uh, because if we see something like that, or even worse, we have the 2 pages pay plan that the company has, and because he has all the legalities, etc., and you see so many numbers, wow, our brain start melting when they see it the first time. Because when I saw it the first time, I remember asking, is there a way that we can simplify it? But the attorneys are the ones that basically dictate how to show it. And it gets so complicated. And I say, okay, we have to create something more simple. And that's why I created this one. And actually, this even in the company I was before, I have something like that. I always like to simplify everything to one page. And we are going to go step by step here. Very simple. The first one, the retail program. The retail program, and the reason is first, is because if you don't have anybody in your team, when you join and somebody buy from you, you make 25%. That's it. And it's paid next day. You share the link and you get paid the next day. It's super simple. And by the way, it could be the best way is when you share a link with somebody else. And now you get paid. Some people say, well, how do you get paid the next day? If the order is placed before 3 o'clock Mountain Time, and this is Monday to Friday, then you get paid the next day as long as the bank is open. And this is amazing for people that are influencers. Influencers are people that have channels on social media, etc. People that have a lot of connections. And when they recommend a product like Kinetics, for example, that I'm drinking right now, when you get a Kinetics, and then and they say, oh, I have incredible energy with this product, make me focus. That, by the way, that's one of the things that I love about Kinetics, is that I'm really focused. It's hard to explain how it make me feel mentally. And supposedly it's an energy product when you see it, but actually it's also focus, it's hydration, it's energy, I would say even stress relief, and I love it. And it's even influencers sharing it like that, and you say I can say, well, by the way, there is a link down there. You can click on the link, and then when the person buy, I get paid the following day. This is good for service offices, health professionals, etc. And even ourselves, because once in a while somebody's going to buy from us. Now, this is not the main way to make money. You can make some money here, but this is the first way to make money, because again, you can make money with this one even if you don't have anybody in your team. You just join and you don't have absolutely nobody in your team, and you can start making money. It's not tons of money, but you can, unless an influencer, if a person has thousands of followers, and every time that somebody or talk about any product, he or she has 100 orders, 200 orders, that can happen too. Anyway, but that's very simple. The second one that is fast is the PIB. And I have it in that order because PIB is when you sign somebody up that wants to make money. That's it. As simple as that. The person said, okay, I would like to do what you're doing. I just want to make money. And then they just sign up. Right now we have the offer. You don't have to pay the $30. But the cool thing is that you get a bonus, a fast start bonus, and this get paid weekly. The only one that is daily is the commission before, but this is weekly. And the way that works is very simple. The week ends on Monday night, and I like the end on Monday night at midnight Mountain Time. Again, it's Mountain Time. And then when the next payment would be Friday. That means that it's actually 4 days after the week close, you get paid. And you get bonus from $25 and up. And the reason I say and up, because we have different packages. You can combine packages. When somebody joins, a person can create their own package. And the minimum commission always is going to be around $25. but you can get 300, 400, $500, depending on how many products the person is buying. The next one is the team commission. And actually, the team commission is amazing. This kind of team commission, I had it in the company I was before for 15 years. I was coming from traditional, like many of you from traditional network marketing, where you get paid on levels, etc. And this was the cycle. Now, the first time that I heard the word cycle, I had to say I was confused. And I bet some of you too, if you came from other different plans. And the reason the cycle is genius is because there are no levels. Doesn't matter how deep the volume comes. You can, let's suppose that you sponsor one person, they sponsor one person, they sponsor one person. Doesn't matter how deep the volume counts. In other words, the computer is not looking for levels. It's just the volume that's coming. And we have two teams only, left and right team. And every time that point is coming on the left, accumulate, and another one on the right, accumulate. And every time combined at 300 and 600, or 600, 300, could be the other way around, that's what is called a cycle. And again, these are in orders that are coming under you, under your team, people that are under you, under your team, that they are buying products. And again, every time it happens 300, 600, 600, 300, click, you get $35. Now, whatever is left in the bank, because had that become a bank, let's suppose that you have 400 on one side and 600 in the other one, you get paid 300, 600, there are 100 left. This is one of the cool things about the cycles. They don't have expiration date, the points, the expiration date. And let me say what it means. For those of you that have been in other companies, at the end of the month, 30 days, or 31 days, when you start the next month, start from zero. Whatever volume was you didn't get paid, and it's gone. Here, keep accumulating. That means that if you have tons of volume coming on one side, and you are not getting as many points in the other side, you're getting cycles, but there's going to be leftover. That leftover never disappear as long as, and this is very important, as long as you are active. And active is very simple. It's 60 points a month in orders of product. That's about 110 to $120 a month that you're buying, and mostly is your consumption. Although sales count too, but it's so easy to qualify. There's no asking, we are not asking you for group volume requirement that you have to have X amount of people qualify at certain levels, etc. Now, one of the cool things I like about Saturday that I can stop recording or stop the presentation and ask you if you have any questions, because we have a little more time. That's why one of the things I like about Saturdays, and that's why I'm going to ask anybody has any question about so far what I said. Let me stop here a second. Any questions about the cycles, the orders, retail, or the PIV? Okay, perfect. All right, as you see, it's very simple. Remember, it's 300, 600. The cycle is the one that usually takes more to get in our head. It's very simple. And by the way, the cool thing is that I use cycles to like when I have goals. For example, let's suppose that I'm going to buy a new pair of shoes, and the shoes, running shoes, cost, let's suppose, $200. And now remember, for each cycle you make $36. I say, okay, my goal is to make an extra 5 cycles, for example, 6 cycles, and then I buy a pair of shoes, running shoes. This is an example. And I love to, when I'm setting up goals, to put the amount of cycles that I need on the right side. And if you see my Excel of the goal sheet that I have cycles on the right side next to the goal. I love to that. I don't know, I think it's fun. And then it's why once in a while when I'm talking to somebody, yeah, I'm a professional cycler. That they imagine that I'm riding a bike, and I'm not good on a bike. But you become a professional cycle. The more you cycle, you become a professional. Very simple. Okay, let me make sure. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Oh, by the way, Kimberly shared. Thank you, Kimberly. The one-page pay plan, you can download it. It's on the right side. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, let me continue. Let me share again. Okay. All right, cycles. And by the way, this is so cool. And it's paid weekly, by the way. The same that with the PAB, whatever volumes came all the way to midnight, Monday midnight, you get paid the following Friday. You get paid very quick, and I love that. The fastest, obviously, the retails is daily, and then everything else that you are gonna see from this point on, including what we just saw, the team commissions and the PAB, they get paid every week. This is an example of, and I love to use this example. I write the numbers 1 to 12 on one left side when I'm talking about the pay plan, and I tell people, let me show you how it works. And I go, the first month, let's suppose that you find two people that are going to do what you're doing, because not everybody's going to do it. Can you imagine if everybody we sponsor would be doing the two? You would be multimillionaire. Here's an example. You sponsor two, and let's suppose that the following month, they sponsor two, that would be four new ones. The following month, the third month, those four sponsor two is eight. Then the 4 month, the sponsor two is 16 new ones. Then 32. At the end of 12 months, you have 4,096 new people coming in. When you add all that, it's over 8,190 people. It's 1,092. I just rounded it up. And that could be an incredible increase in income. Imagine the possibilities. And it's very simple. And the cool thing is that when this happen, really happen because there's no any blockage on the pay plan. Because remember, the computer is looking for volume. Doesn't matter how deep the volume. And you see this interest in the first month, let's suppose that you have 200 points in volume that came under you. And if each one is ordering 100 points, this is an example, 100 points. By the end of month 12, they're coming for over 400,000 points. That's why you're making more and more actually, because you have 8,190 people. You have way more points coming. Oops. I had the slide with the numbers, but you have over 819,000 points coming every month or every week, depending on how you want to see it. The possibilities are incredible. Just imagine. I don't have to write the numbers, but imagine. And like I say, I have the disclaimer because I want to make sure that people see that this, of course, this is an example, but shows what the possibilities of the pay plan. They're incredible. And these things happen in the for example, we have probably close to 20,000 people, 20 something thousand people in our team, probably more than that by now, because I've not checked the final numbers. But the cool thing that this keeps multiplying, and the company I was before for 15 years, we brought a million people. Now, I don't know a million people. In this example, most people don't know 8,190 people. In this example, you sponsor only two people, and they duplicate over 8,000 people. It's why interesting when I was in the other company, and when I hit a million people, I was in an event that we were doing, I think it was in Las Vegas. Of course, one of the questions on the panel was, how can you get around a million people? How do you do that? And I said, no, I didn't do it. It's just the team keep growing, and so I have teams in many countries. I have teams in North America, in South America, in Europe, in Asia. I mean, grow all over the place, all over the place. And many people say, "Whoa, of course you knew people in all those countries." No, my group in Australia, my first team in Australia started for somebody I met in Las Vegas. Imagine, I met somebody in Las Vegas. That was my first group in Australia. My first group in South America came from social media. Somebody asked me about the business I was doing at the time, and we started through social media. And I was not even looking. I asked a question, and then I was surprised that when I asked that question, so many people start asking me. And the question was very simple. Do you know anybody that we are opening X country? Because it happened also in Malaysia. Malaysia, I had a team, and I met these people through the internet, through social media, through Facebook. When I said, oh, we are going to be opening my business in Malaysia, and I got a few people asking me, oh, can you tell me more? What is it? I am opening in Colombia, and I have even a podcast in Colombia that called me that I didn't know they were in Colombia, just interview me. What business are you opening here in Colombia? And I didn't know, and people start coming in. It's why the possibility of this business are enormous. And of course, the US and Canada is where I have most of my team. Many of these people came like that. Connections that I was doing just because I was talking to somebody, like I happened in Las Vegas. I was going into an attraction, I was in line, and I heard the accent of the guy. It was a couple, and they sounded, I thought it was Australian. They were Australian. We started talking. That was my first contact, and the person joined, not right away because we didn't have opened that business in Australia yet. But 6 months later, he was my first leader in Australia. You never know where you're going to find the people that are going to grow. And by the way, when I was online in Las Vegas, I was not doing, my purpose was not prospecting right away. The person, of course, I always prospecting. And when the person said Australia, the only thing that I said, oh yeah, we are going to be open in Australia in the next few months, but I didn't know when at that company at the time. And guess what? 6 months later, we were open, and he and his wife were in. Cool. The possibility of this business are incredible. And this is just in the cycles part. Then we have the reward compensation plan. That's very simple. It's when you are in a smart ship, for example, for 6 months, you get a $100 certificate every 6 months. Now, sometimes you think, oh, that's not a big deal. But you know, high school, when you see in your back office that you have an 100 points reward, and you can use it for products, buying products. Now, interesting about customers. If a customer, and this is a person that is not is not a brand ambassador, when they reward when for every $300 that they are spending, they're getting $33 for the next order, and then but every time they refer somebody, they get a $10 certificate. These are discounts for the next order. By the way, and this is a question that many people ask: if a customer refers somebody, who made the commission? Because a customer doesn't make money. They receive a reward, but they don't make money because they are customers. They are not part of the tree. Guess what? You receive the commission like if you sponsor that person. You get it at 25%, even if you didn't sponsor that person. That's so cool. But anyway, these are the rewards that you receive when you are in smart chips, and the customers, in the case for every $300 they get $33 certificates, and then they get $10 rewards. And this is the coolest part of the plan. This didn't exist in the company where I was before. It's the matching bonus. The matching bonus is amazing because they are rewarding you by helping people to make money. And in the long term, this is the one that's going to make you the most money. For example, let's suppose that you have Bob and Sue, and let's suppose that Bob cycle, and every time he cycle, you get you get a $10.50. Remember, they're getting $35 for every cycle, so the same thing. Every time they cycle, people are personals, you get up to 30%. That's $10.50. Just to give you an idea how amazing it is. You have a bunch of people cycling, and let's suppose that Bob or Sue are cycling 10 times. It's $350 each one. You get 10 times the commission. $10.50 times 100 is 150, and it's paid weekly. Every time that they make money, you get paid on all your personal. And the cool thing, and this is up to 30. Why I say up to 30? You start with 20%, but when you have 10 people that are personal, that are active, that you have as personal sponsor, that by the way could be a combination of BAs with also customers, because if you have 3 or 4 or 5 customers, they count too. When you have 10, you get 30%. If you don't have the 10 yet, you get 20% on your personals. I didn't have this. I have in my other business where we have around 1 million people, we have 40 people that earn over $1 million. Now, 2 of them were personals. $1 million, what is 30% a year? They make let's suppose that in a year they make those $1 million. 30% is $300,000 on Bob or Sue. It's incredible. In other words, you find a leader and you are rewarded by helping all the other leaders. And this, for me, was very excited because that means that you are rewarded again every time that you sponsor somebody that's making money. And the cool thing doesn't stop there. And Here's an example. You can get up to 30%, that's with a happy 10, but when they bring somebody and they are making money, you get 15%. That's L2 or level two. On the when the two stars, so the people, excuse me, not two star, the people on your second level bring somebody, you get 10% on every time they sponsor somebody. And of course, depend on your rank. But this is the cool thing, up to 7 levels. There's no limit how much money you can earn. On the cycles, you can earn up to $21,000 per week. That, by the way, for a little doing a little math, multiplied by 52 weeks, that's over $1 million a year. And that's all I had in the other company. Here we didn't have this part of the pay plan. And that's why I'm so excited. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can get out here a second. Let me see if I have the calculator here. Oh no, I don't have it here. But I'm gonna go into that in a second. But anyway, let me stop here because this part is so unique. I love it. And as you see, we have the table also in the one-page pay plan. Anybody has any questions about this part, about the matching bonus? Because that's in the long term, that's what is going to make you the most money. As a matter of fact, our position probably about 60% of the income is coming from the matching bonus. Because imagine, Christine, who is a personal of mine, let's suppose that she make in 1 week 10,000 a week. It's 30% of that's 3,000 a week just because she did that. And she has leaders like Kimberly that makes money too, I guess 15%. And Kimberly leaders that make 10% and all the way down. That's powerful. And you get paid also every week on that. It's interesting because that part of the pipeline, again, in the long term, is going to pay the most. And that's why I have it in that order on the one page, because the first money that you're going to make again is retail. The second money is the PIB when you sponsor somebody. The third one, when you get cycles. But when you get people to cycle, you start getting paid too. And I could stop here on the pay plan and say, that's it. And because that's where most of your money is going to come from, everything that I show you now. Especially obviously most of the money is going to come from the cycles and the matching bonus, those two together. Eventually in the long term, like I said, the matching bonus is going to be bigger. But this is powerful. Any questions? Because I want to make sure that you don't have any doubts about this part of the plan, because this is what makes it so darn powerful. Is that we have that combination of that you are rewarded, obviously, when people are moving product under you, they're for themselves or selling products, etc. But then also you are rewarded because they are making money. And this makes it so powerful that when your business is moving, when you have two people in your team, one on each side, that become super leaders and they're building the business, it's game over. What do I mean about game over? Imagine your business at the beginning is like a roller, or like a two trains going up. And going up a hill, it takes a lot of strength, a lot of power, and going attack, tack, 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 because you are building. And that's the part that takes the longest. But then as soon as they get to the top, and then they start going down, start going very fast, and you cannot stop those trains even if you want to. And that's cool. You don't want to. And first, now they don't come at the same time. One is going to be first. Ta, 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 ta. The reason in our pay plan is still it's exciting because that volume keep accumulating. If one side is the first one to start doing that. Why? Because now just the other one is where you need the volume to and to happen the same thing. And eventually, and that could happen after a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, you never know. Then start going so fast in those two legs that you can say, okay, you know what? I'm going to go on vacation to Europe for 2 months. I'm going to travel I don't know, in a car, going from landing in Spain, and then in Spain, I rent a car or a motorhome or whatever you want, go all the way to Europe, all the way north, and then south, all the way south, and then go through through all the way north to well, Spain. You have to go to, yeah, France, and then you keep going up all the way to Switzerland, etc. And then you go to Germany, going back, and then you go to all the northern countries, and then you go all the way south. Eventually, you are in, I don't know, as an example, in Istanbul. And you can take a month, 2 months, 3 months. Why? Because your business is growing. But this is the next part. You can continue building your business because as long as you have access to a line, phone line, or internet, you can keep connecting with people. And this business never stops. Even if you want to build it from another part, but even if you don't want to build, you just disappear. You know that you have leaders and also applies that are working with your teams. And when you come back, guess what? You still have your income, maybe even higher. And I have so many stories on network marketing. One of the team members that now is part of our team here, her two parents got sick almost about the same time. And she had to take care of them. And she had to travel where the parents live and taking care of them, etc. Sadly, both of them died. But for a year, she was doing that. And after she came back to the business, her income was bigger because she has leaders on each leg that were building the business. And that's why and she's just an example of what this business can do for you. I have a friend also that she wanted to write a book. That's what she always wanted, to write books. But she always had the regular jobs, kids, etc. When she created her income, guess what? She was writing books. I have a friend that she became a multimillionaire in this kind of business, my company before. She was an actress, but a smaller actress, she was broke. Guess what? When she started making money and she became a millionaire and she lived in a beautiful home in Universal City, she said the weird thing is that jobs start coming to myself and my family. One of her daughters, the voice of Elsa in Frozen, and she's been in soap operas, etc. And her husband is a producer. Before that, they were broke because they couldn't find anything. They started making money in network marketing, and guess what? They had the freedom. And she said, when we didn't need the money, offers start coming because they were successful, and people are attracted to success. This is super cool. This is what this business does. That's what network marketing does. It doesn't matter what people tell me. Some of the most successful people I know, not only in our business trip, but in network marketing in general, when they build an organization that's moving up by itself, they have that kind of freedom. And the cool thing about this pay plan, they're so simple to qualify, because it's simple to qualify. It's just the numbers. That eventually the numbers are going to be talking by itself. It's not going to happen at the beginning. So to make sure that somebody is not listening to this for the first time, wow, they told me that I bring 2 people and that's it. They're going to have over 8,000 people and going to be making over $30,000, $40,000 a month right away. Now, that's not the case. But it's a numbers game. The more people we talk to, the more successful you're going to be. Let me go back. Any questions, by the way? Again, I know I'm talking too much. Okay, a little drink of kinetics. By the way, something I did with the kinetics, I mixed it with high C, you know, the vitamin C, because I like vitamin C too, and I mix it, and it's so cool. It tastes so good. Okay, all right. Wow, no questions. It's 102 of the presentation already. You got it, or you are sleeping. One of the two.
No questions because you're so thorough and so great. Oh my gosh. You can never talk too much. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome,
Okay.
awesome. Great training all the time, George.
Great.
Thank you, George.
Okay, thank you, Ling. Okay, let me go back to my screen. Although this is the pay plan, the main pay plan. Yeah, we have other ways to make money, but by understanding those 4 is more than enough. That's it. Let's go back to this. Okay, all right. Okay, we have the leadership bonus. We have something called the founder that for when people came at the beginning, but then we have the leadership bonus. And this is when you become a 4-star. At the beginning, it's not a lot of money, although it's a good extra money. This is the way that works. It's very simple. When you qualify a 4-star, the company takes 3% of the profit of the company worldwide. Or actually, it's from the sales, not the profit. I have to fix that. From the sales worldwide, and divide it among the people that qualify. The reason this could be a lot of money, because the question is always, well, how do you divide all that 3%? It depends on several factors. One of them is very simple. For every 1,000 points that your team is producing, and this is the people that you sponsor plus the people that they sponsor plus the people that sponsor, in other words, the people that you personally sponsor down, for every 1,000 points, they give you a share. That means that the more points you have, the more shares you receive. If you get 1,000 points that week, this is paid weekly too, you get 1 share. And the fact that you are at a 4-star, they give you another share. The fact for every time you go up in rank, they give you another share. For every time somebody that you personally sponsor get up in rank, you give you another share, and you can get a lot of shares. The average minimum shares that a person get at this level is like 40 shares a week. That means that, and the shares are paying, it depends on the week, between $7 to $15, depending on the week, but let's suppose that's $7 a week. That means if a person has 30 shares, that's an extra $210 a month. I mean, a week, that's not bad, because it's about $1,000 a month. It's like $900, $800, $900, $1,000 a month. The higher you go in rank, the shares start multiplying very quickly because you have more volume coming from your team. As a matter of fact, by the time you are probably a 6-star, your shares already start hitting the 100,000 a year. That's great, because that's extra. Now, I usually don't put it as an example when I explain the pay plan. As a matter of fact, I think when I explain the pay plan, when I'm talking to a prospect, I rarely talk about this, because this is a long term when you start seeing the money. However, the more the company grows, the shares start getting higher per share on the value. For example, a share could go to $10 or $15. I don't know. We don't know, because that depends on the sales and how many people are qualified. But that could be, one time it could be as much as 6-figure per year. But at first it's like $800 a month, $1,000 a month, and that's when you go a 4-star or above. And these are paid weekly, the same that every week. We have the trips. We have different trips, and by the way, they are going to be announcing next month. They're going to announce the next trips. I don't know where they are yet, where they are going to be. And we have trips, rewards, etc. And most of the rewards, they don't depend on ranks. The way that you get the reward depends on ranks or volumes or what you have done. But a lot of people can qualify. And that's why something that I like it, because in the company I was before, to get to trips, especially nice trips, it was so tough to qualify. But actually, all the trips. And here they have different levels of trips and anybody can qualify if you like to travel. Now, I already did this. And we have many other promotions, incentives, like promotion like right now that you don't have to pay the $30 to sign up. And we have occasional promotions all the time. But this is what the pay plan is. That's it. Okay. Now, let me go to the next one, SmartShip. Now, this is very important for many reasons, and I'm going to go into the numbers in a second. SmartShip is when you order products automatic every 4 weeks. And there are many, many reasons it's so important to have SmartShip. It's very powerful. I discovered SmartShip. I'm glad that my first company I joined, and they were talking about the benefits. I remember at the beginning, I said, oh no, I'm not going to forget. I ordered, and I lost commissions because I forgot to order. And that can happen to you. What do they mean? If you're not active every 4 weeks with at least 60 points, and let's suppose that you go beyond the 4 weeks, you don't order, whatever volume that you have accumulated disappear. That's the only way that, by the way, volume can disappear. It goes to zero. You don't want that to happen. And let me go here. Of course, the other thing that you receive the products every month. You want to make sure that you don't forget to order because you say, "Oh, gee, I'm running out of products. I have to order again." But if you have a smart ship, you know that the products that you're ordering every month, you're having smart ships. And that the cool thing that you choose whatever product you want, your favorite products. Now, the cool thing that AutoShip is built of loyal, I didn't say loyal customers, but loyal people and brand ambassadors all together. And this is the way that you are building your business. Because let's suppose that this week you have people coming into the business right now, doesn't matter the package that they're coming. 4 weeks from now, they're going to have the first smart ship coming. And that's what a long-term business work. For me, it's way more important for somebody to sign up in smart ship than whatever package they come with, because that's what is building the residual income. Because like I said, I sign up people this week. I know in 4 weeks they are going to have a smart ship. If they don't sign in a smart ship, they can forget. And then I'm going to show you some numbers that are very relevant. And by the way, this is not only in our company. That happened in a whole industry in network marketing. But this is the cool thing. And let's suppose that next week, because there's a way to find out. There is several reports that you find in your back office where you can see which next week, for example, how many smart ships are coming. And if you already have a team and you say, well, next week is the one that had the less smart ships, guess what? You can create some kind of contest within your group to give some rewards. That could be something very simple like recognition or Amazon card, the people that sponsor the most, or etc. for that week, because then more people are going to come that week. Let's suppose that again next week is the weakest one, and then when they come in 4 weeks from their point, you're going to have that week getting stronger because the people that come next week, they're going to have a smart ship 4 weeks later. That's why the smart ship is so powerful. Now, these are the numbers. The retention rate, manual ordering, and this is all over the industry, and it's very similar on three. When you are letting people to order and they don't do a smart ship, and that happened to you the same, the max that you see up to 40% people reordering, the majority, it's not like that, but that's minimum is 10%. However, the minimum on a smart ship is about 60%. In other words, that's the minimum. The minimum is 10%. That means that you can get up to 9 times higher orders every week, eventually, with smart ship. Here's an example below. That means that you can get between 70 to 90 orders compared with the 10 to 40 orders that you are having in a smart ship. And this keep accumulating. It's why, in my opinion, the smart ship is more important. Many people get stressed out trying to get person with the biggest package. No, I want to make sure that the person is coming on the smart ship. It's true, it's only at 60, 100 points. That usually the average smart ship, by the way, is about 100 points for most people. But the longer they're in the company, that smart ship goes up, or the orders per person go up. That's the cool thing because they order more products. But the fact is that the smart ship is so important, and the numbers don't lie. And you probably have seen people, or even yourself, that you forgot to order because you are not used to the smart ship. Smart ship is the smartest way for the long term. It looks very little because you say, well, I prefer to order something with 500 points, and then you are focused on the 500 points, and you say, wait, 60 points. If the person is in the smart ship, that's not a lot. But that's the residual, that's the accumulation. For me, this is the most important, and I know there are a couple of leaders that kind of fight me on that because they're pushing people. No, if they cannot come with a bigger package, they are not serious. Many times you can't. When you are signing up somebody, they can't come with the biggest package, and we make people to focus so much in those biggest package that sometimes they delay the order. They sold something to get into the business, etc. And guess what? When they start prospecting people, they're focusing on that too, but not on the smart ship. The smart ship is the long term. That's where the residual is. That's where the retirement money comes in. That's when you go travel all over the world and you have income is coming from the smart ship, no other place. because sometimes some months are slow when no a lot of people are not coming in. For example, as the summertime, they are in general they are not coming as many people normally as normally in times that are people in other times. And it's not that nobody's coming, but it goes a little slower. But the smart ships are always there. Doesn't matter if it's in the week between Christmas and New Year's Eve, that is the slowest of the whole year usually for our business. You have the smart ships, and it's why I'm repeating so much. The smart ship is the glue that keeps your business together. When I excuse me, when I was in the other company, the guy that sponsored me, he started a business at 75. He was broke coming out of a bankruptcy. He didn't have even high school education. And now today, and this was, let's see, he's 97. That was 22 years ago. He's still alive, 97 years old. He has earned around $100 million in products. And he's the one that told me this. Smart ship is the glue that keeps your business together. He had made that phrase so famous in the other company that I remember people were fighting him. No, that you have to make sure that people are coming with $1,000 packages. And yes, if a person can, it's better because you have all the product, you got better discount, etc. But if you just focus on that and you don't talk about the smart ship, your business in the long term is not going to survive. And my friend is the best example. Started in 2002. This has been 24 years, would be 24 years. He has a six-figure income per month, multiple six-figure income per month, seven-figure income per year. He had made multiple seven figures, actually nine figures, because he make over $100 million in those 24 years. He's 97. He's 97. He became 97 in March. That's what smart ships does. I want to make sure that you have this so much ingrained in your brain. Smart ship is so darn important. Let me stop here for a second. Okay, any questions? We almost finished. Okay, start share, hold on a second. All right, back. Okay. Oh, thank you, by the way, Kimberly, for sharing this. Yeah, I can. When I'm sharing my screen, I cannot see what you're putting on the chat. Okay, perfect. All right, perfect. All right, perfect. Oh, it seems that everything's crystal clear. It's not that people are falling asleep. Yay! Okay, perfect.
We're awake. We're dreaming big because this is just so exciting to know that this is available to us. And as long as we say it the right way, and I love that you said just get people in wherever they can and put them on the smart ship.
Yes,
I love
especially I love that they created the 4-pack for the GLP-3 because the 3 was kind of odd pack. And plus the packaging is beautiful. Before, I have to say, it was super ugly. Now we have a nice packaging. That's something that it makes really a lot of sense, and that's the minimum package. Uh, but and by the way, this is not changing our approach in the sense that it's good when people come with a bigger package because if they have the way to get with the bigger package, it's very important because they get the benefits, the price, they have more products, etc. And yet, if a person can't, I seen so many people during the last 3 years, and also I saw it in the other company. I seen people telling people, "Well, find the money and then you join," and then that person never come back because say, "Oh, I have to find $2,000." And the person never come back because in his mind or her mind, they're thinking the only way to get in is with $2,000. Doesn't matter if you show them other possibilities, but if you push so much the big one in some way that the person say, well, I know the other packages, but if I come with a smaller one, I'm a loser. That's basically subconsciously, they're not thinking that way, but that's subconsciously, that's the way our brain works. But when we put the importance of smart ship, they say, oh, I can do that. It's only $120 a month. I can do that, and I'm using the products anyway. Oh, thank you for sure. Yeah, yeah. There is the packaging of the GLP-3. The cool thing, by the way, is when people because sometimes we want the people to experience all the products right away, and you try to push all the products. Well, you have to have the bigger package. You have the bigger package. But for me, a product that is favorite, in this case GLP-3, but for some people could be the kinetics and the eternal. But let's suppose the GLP-3 because that's our focus. It's like a Trojan horse. It's like the famous Trojan story. You get just one thing, but it's full of goodies. The most expensive, the other products inside, no soldiers that are going to kill you or anything like that. And then what happened is that they start discovering the other products. But by the way, a lot has to do with us. When a person calls GLP-3, you can say, oh, by the way, it would be cool for you to have this product, the Vitality, that help you with the nutrition. Because when we are losing weight, the body needs being bombarded of nutrition. And it's true. You need kinetics because sometimes people, when they lose weight, they become very moody. Oh, this help. I love it. Energy, etc. I mean, that's when the other products start coming in. And then suddenly, one time, like me, you're earning 300 or 400 points in products, but you started with 1 or 2 or 3. Now, obviously, when a person comes with a bigger package, they are going to have access to so many products. And that's the advantage of the business package, that they can start using more products right away. But the fact is that if they can't, you cannot force it. I like to have the GLP-3 with the package that had the 6 basic products. Because if they can, and you combine those two, and remember, whatever they order, you're getting the PIB in both, not only in one. And that's a good way. So, by the way, I recommend that would be cool if you have at least the basic 6 products, because you have the cleansing, you have the multivitamin, you have the super antioxidant. I love it so much that I have more than 1 box with me. Oh, you cannot see it because here on the desk, this is what I have in the desk along. I love the Eternal. It's Eternal Kinetics and the Vitality are my favorite products by a lot. I love the GLP-3 too because different. But the daily use, etc., enjoy this product. Enjoy them. I'm kind of addicted. I wonder if Dr. Dan is putting something there. I'm addicted to these 3 products that I have here. And of course, I love my Revive because obviously I had so many problems with my knees when I started. And that was the first product that I tried. And I love it. Go ahead, Carmen.
Hi, George. Great training. I have a question on a customer. If a customer is on SmartShip, does the customer get benefits, the same benefits or any benefits as a customer?
Yes, but they had the extra $30 every $300 orders.
Repeat that again, George.
Every time they order $300, they get a $30 certificate for the next order also. That's the advantage of a customer. It's why, by the way, and this is so important, I'm glad you bring that up. If a person say that they just want to buy the product, don't force them into becoming a brand ambassador, because I hear that all the time. And this is the reason, because from the point of view of psychology of ourselves, we say, oh, I sponsor like 20 brand ambassadors and they are not doing anything. But in reality, probably 10 or 12 of those are just product users. And but when we talk to people, yeah, I sponsor like 20 people and they're not doing anything. Well, are product users or are people that are building? It's why I like to have the distinction. I never force anybody. If the person say, I just want to buy the product, sure, I don't try to convince here the person say, oh, it's better if you are this, because if you, no, this still, by the way, when well, it doesn't matter right now that, but eventually, if they want to build the business, just switch them. They have a way in the back office that they can switch. That's simple. Make sure you keep it simple. Simple, because again, as soon as we try to convince somebody to become a brand ambassador, it's another explanation that we have to add to our presentation, and then can create confusion. And some people are going to say, "Let me think about," because you introduce another way to give you an objection. We don't want that. I want to buy the product. Sure, take the order. Don't talk too much. Then after they start ordering, Then you can tell, by the way, you could make money every time you refer somebody. If they still open, switch them. If they are not open, just keep them as a customer. But don't lose a person just because you talk too much. You create another possibility of objection. Every time you say something new, it's a possibility of objection or possibility of confusion. That's even worse. Because objection, well, you found the answer, but you don't want to get to another step. Confusion is worse because they say, oh, let me think about it, and then the person never, ever, ever, ever connect with you anymore. Suddenly, the person starts ghosting you. And you say, oh, I called this person 100 times and the person disappeared. They changed from zip code and area code, everything, because you talk too much. That's why it's so important. And I'm glad you say that. Yeah, like Kimberly said, only say what is necessary. Any other comment? Yeah, we have already an hour. But if you want to stay, I can stay here. That's what, again, I love about Saturdays, that I'm kind of more flexible because I don't have to be running a sector in an hour and something, but still, I have an hour. Not that we are going to stay here for an hour extra. It's just you have any other questions or comments? Okay, perfect. And then we look to the right side. And again, thank you for posting, Kimberly, posting those pictures from the new packaging, etc. I love that. Yeah, simple choice, etc. Oh, perfect. And
Yeah, the
something
packaging is so beautiful. Oops,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, the packaging is really cool. Yeah, because before it was ugly, that piece of cardboard and the product inside, yuck. But I still say people, well, it's not a nice packaging, but the product inside is amazing. And now we have a nice packaging that it's so nice that, by the way, you can have it with you, put it somewhere that people can see it. Actually, it's one of the best packaging that we have.
George,
Only the best, actually. Go ahead, Carmen.
let me tell you what one of my ambassadors in San Antonio, one of her customers told her, it's a customer. She bought the GLP to try it. And she says if they were still shipping them out, she goes, that packaging is bad. Are they still shipping them out in those toilet paper rolls? That's what she called it.
That's true, by the way. Oh, now that you say that, that's a toilet paper. Like, yeah.
Yeah, the customer said it, not me. That's how she referred to the packaging. She goes, "Are they shipping them out in those toilet paper rolls?"
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we don't want to be known by that. The company of the toilet paper roll packaging. Yikes. That doesn't sound nice. Yeah, no, I'm glad that they work on the packaging because packaging is so important. Maybe not for the first sale, but the orders after. And can you imagine you are new in the business and then you say, oh, I have my product shipping, and you open and you show the people the toilet roll paper. The product is here. People are looking at that and say, what the heck? That company is where in a basement somewhere in a country that doesn't have even a name. You never know. That's why I'm glad that they came and they did a nice job. They were working in another packaging before that I thought were gonna coming up. And that was nice too, but this one is way nicer. They did a much better job with this one than the one that they were working before. I don't know if any of you saw it because they were showing, this was like 3 months ago maybe, that they were showing the package that was gonna come, but this is way nicer. Way, way, way nicer. I'm glad. I don't know who was in charge of the graphics, but he or she did a great job. Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, if you have, I think if you have your microphone mute and you want to say, just click something, click on your mute. By the way, and from this point on, the only thing is just talk to people. You don't have to know all the Payplan I use. So as a matter of fact, just knowing that if you bring two, they bring two, bring two, and you show that example, you can say, this is the potential. You want, that's the truth, by the way. That's the potential of the business. This is what can happen. And do you think, and I like to ask that question, do you think if people like the product, they could share with somebody else? Yes. And do you think they can do the same thing? Yes. And if they love the product, do you think they order every month? Yes. This is an example. people bring 2, 4, 8, 16. Look, you have over 8,000 people ordering, and you brought only 2 that they are doing the same thing that you are doing. Of course, you have to have the right people because not everybody bring people. Go ahead, Kimberly.
Well, I just have to crow a little bit about Carmen. Carmen, would you like to share about how close you are to the VIP thing?
Oh, correct.
Oh, well, I have 6 customers. It was hard. It's harder than getting ambassadors. But I'm sick. I have 6 customers already enrolled.
But that's really good. It's amazing.
Yeah, but it was a little harder with than doing the ambassadors.
Yeah, because your mindset, and that
Yes.
happened to me too, because I don't look for customers. It's easier for me to find a brand ambassador than customer. But the reason is because I was putting pressure on myself to find the leaders. But when I just, whatever, the people come the way they're supposed to come. And then it's not going to be hard because there are other people that it's funny say the other way, say, oh, I can find a lot of customers, but I cannot find brand ambassadors. Because we were used to certain way to build. That's what happened. It's a mind thing. Go ahead, Kimberly.
I just think it's just so exciting. I was so excited when I saw the leaderboard. You could see all the people on the list, and Carmen's name was on there. So it's just so close. And I just think it would be a great idea if we just try to get whatever 10 customers or like 10 BAs, of course, every single month. I think this is such a brilliant idea, challenge that Daniel laid down for us, and if he wants it, let's just give it to him.
The cool thing, by the way, that you also are creating smart ships because many of those customers are going to stay in a smart ship. Also, you are creating future brand ambassadors because it's going to happen that some of those customers, they say, oh, by the way, I have another referral for you. And you say, hey, you could be making money. Let's switch. Suddenly you can find a leader on people that they are using the product. They already love the product. And that's a great story, by the way. Some people, let me tell you why. Somebody can say, you know what, I was just a customer, but I love so much the product that I decided to make a business of this. That's a great story. When somebody just come with the products and they switch. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody has to come that way because there's the leader, the person that want to make money like me. I was looking at business too first and then the customer. But there are a lot of people that they have a great story. I've been using this product for 2 or 3 months. I love it so much that I decide to share it with people. And that many leaders come from those points of view. Just people that just use the product that they didn't care about making money because some of them are serious. They could be in a good financial situation and say, oh, or they don't have the time. But then when they realize that by sharing along, and you don't have an extra time, it's just sharing on the pockets of your life. Suddenly, the person says, gee, I could be making $30 here, $40 here. That's cool. I pay for part of my products. That's why we had to let this go naturally, not to force into anything. Because again, every time we force something into something, guess what? You are creating or a new objection or confusion. We don't want that. And that's important that we keep that in mind. And the other one is the smart ship is the glue that keeps the business together. That was put into my head by Jimmy, that the person that sponsored me in that other company, so much into my head when I got into the company before that we didn't have anybody coming with no smart ship. Even customers, they're coming in smart ship, but instead of talking about the money side, we saying you don't want to stop using these products because then you are going to miss the product for a week or two, and suddenly you're going to say, heck, I'm going to start feeling again the way that I was feeling before. I don't want that. Even a customer, make sure that they are in a smart ship. Of course, the extra incentive that a person has when they are building the business is that you are not going to lose that volume. You keep that volume, never disappear, as long as you are ordering products for your own use. You don't have to even to be selling. You can sell because you are signing up people, and when you sign people brand ambassador, you also are connecting with people that just want to buy the product. It's normal. That's part of the normal. Let me see who is in the call because I was talking to Yeah, I was going to name her, but she's not here. But I was talking to one of the brand ambassadors. Um, they she and one of her team members, they as they are basically the worst strongest looking for people brand ambassador. Then what they did right now, they let the business to go more naturally, and it's interesting because they are getting customers, but they are getting also more brand ambassadors. They realized that they were forcing people into things, and that was creating a barrier. I don't want to name the person because it's not here, but she and one of her team members are mostly on Monday to Friday, and the whole business changing because they realize more people are open, and it's because a simple switch. Do not force anything but anybody into something that they don't want to be. Something very simple, just get it naturally. It's, by the way, it's why you present the whole thing. Even if a person said, okay, I just want to buy the product. Well, yeah, let me tell you the whole story because I don't want you to get upset with me later. You can also can get rebates. I use the word rebates when somebody's telling me that. And the rebates could be as big as they pay for the products, and you don't have to pay for the products ever again. Do you think if you like the product, you will refer people? Yes. Oh, then that's a brand ambassador. But if they don't, just buy the products. But don't force anybody into something that they don't want to be. That's very important. Okay, any other comments before we go? And this is recorded. As a matter of fact, let me see. I can give you the link right now. Okay, if I have it. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I can give you the link. Perfect. Okay, the link that I'm going to give you now is, if you go now, you are going to see this presentation that's happening right now because it's the live part. It's although it's delayed like 30 seconds. But then by copying that link, and after we are over, after probably a couple of minutes, then you can share that link with somebody else, or you want to watch the presentation again. This presentation is going to be there. All right, perfect. Okay, let me ask another time because then I want to make sure that everybody have any comments or question, because I want to make sure that any doubt, anything that you want to say, you can say it right now. Anybody? As a matter of fact, let me stop the recording in that way because I know some